I would like to ask, you ended your speech with your personal revolution. So what would be that, and what inspires you to do that? What's your next revolution?
That's a good question. I get inspired by people often, and I'm really lucky to be in the middle of all these people who strive to create something worth creating. And so I think I'm the kind of person who constantly reinvents herself. That's just how I live. I transform all the time. And now I've made 3 books about other people's stories. And for a while I've been thinking about what's my story? What do I want to build that becomes my story? And I guess my next revolution is to find an answer to that. Whatever that may be. Yay! I agree. Did that answer your question?
Yes, it did.
Thank you.
So, hi. I have a question as well. When you did the interviews, did the women mention anything about like friends being a very critical part of the, you know, like creating a revolution or creating something new? As when I think of like, yeah, basically any major, like Microsoft, Apple, Facebook, you know, it was founded by 5 friends, Blizzard or Naughty Dog in the game industry, all of them were founded by like a group of friends.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking of, the Futuremakers, how much it's about individuals and how much it's about, individuals with friends. Did you get any comments about the essence of friends?
Yeah, yeah. For example, YouTube is a great story about that. They were a group of friends just having fun with each other, creating something like a dating app first that became this video thing. Yeah, that was really important, and that's why I talked about the right people, because that's often people you enjoy working with, and it creates something that becomes fun and useful to others because it's been fun to create it. And that's how I believe it. Yeah. It doesn't have to be friends. So some women just find teams of people they never met before, and it can be magical that way too. But yeah, at least I know that friends have a huge impact. And sometimes your friends try to even protect you from taking risks and telling you to take the safe path. So it's kind of a two-sided street.
Were there any like individual heroes in the in the sort of ladies that you interviewed? Were there any like sort of
you mean like
companies
mentors
founded by one lady who were running the whole business?
Yeah, they're all either programmers or founders or something like that, educators. So yeah, but we talked a lot about mentors, the importance of role models as well. It's kind of like friends, but it's usually someone who has a lot more experience. So that's been a huge part of those stories.
Think about what you said about. Let's take that first.
Thank you. Thank you for your speech. I was just wondering that these Futuremakers that you have interviewed, are they from the regular families, or do they have some kind of background that you can like see that all are from some kind of from the rich families or something like that? Thank you.
Thank you. I didn't ask if they were rich, but regular families, yeah. Many of the women who end up making technology had a strong father figure who was always encouraging them to, do things and become an entrepreneur, start something. But it's not always that. So the inspiration can come from anywhere. Some of them have had engineers as parents, or designers, but also everything. So it's not like a clear path. Also, some of them really liked math and the sciences. Some of them really didn't. So it's like there's everything.
Good to hear.
You don't have to be rich to make a revolution. That's for sure.
Hello, thank you for a really. Is this on?
It's on.
Thank you for a really nice presentation. Your first book was about failure, and people often talk about women being more risk averse and perhaps afraid of failing. Did some of the people that you interview have clear, like, failing moments that they were able to recover from, and do you think that that formed them to become future makers?
For sure, yeah. Katarina was the one I mentioned, and she talked about failures quite a lot actually, but she also said that she's an entrepreneur, so she's an optimist. So thinking about failures is really difficult because she's already turned them into lessons. So she doesn't remember the moments of failure. She's reframed them, and she said that everything she's learned in building a business, she's learned through making mistakes. So you learn to recruit the right people by recruiting the wrong people. You learn to manage people by doing it wrong, being a bad leader first. So it's all about that. And it was funny actually, these women are from all over the world, a lot of them in the States. And compared to the first book, it was maybe not as easy to get the failure stories out. Maybe because it's not the main theme in the book anyway, but I feel like Finns had this need to come out and talk about their failures more. And that's pretty great.
Do you have a last question? Well, I have. A quote, like, strive to understand, ask questions. Have you got a grasp of kind of what are the biggest obstacles of not asking questions? Like, how did you, like, yeah, is it something?
Knowledge. Knowledge. We think we know something, so I guess you can see that in your own life. If you think you know something, you're not open to asking. So yeah, and yeah, when I say knowledge, I mean knowledge because you often learn that what you thought you knew was not true at all. So the hero's journey is as much about unlearning as learning new things, I think.
Yeah, really great talk. It made me smile.
Thank you.
I'm wondering, do you have any tips before we finish, how to convince people that you're not crazy when you're really a genius?
I love that. Not really. Did I convince you? Do you have to convince people that you're not crazy? I don't know. Anyone?
Like, is it appreciated if you're working, or I don't know?
I think.
Sometimes I feel crazy.
I think.
Thank you.
I think just if you're excited about what you're doing, it's contagious. So that can be enough, and even craziness can be contagious. So people often love people who are a bit crazy, a bit different, because it gives you a permission to be different too. Does that answer it at all? Does anybody have any better tips? Why couldn't you be crazy? It's beautiful.
One more question. Do you think that it's more successful to live your life for the future generations than to live it for your own experience?
Wow. I don't think it has to be either or. First for yourself, of course, but to live it in a way that thinks about the future generations, of course. I think they go hand in hand. pretty much. At least for me, because if you have values that kind of care about the future generations, then you're going to kind of live it for yourself too. Do you want to elaborate on that, like where that comes from?
I think it was pretty all-inclusive, as philosophic as it gets.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's a good answer also. Like, also if you live for yourself and for your own values, then you also live for the future generations.
Yeah.
It's true.
Basically. Thanks.
Thank you. And I'll leave you to think about the best question.
Okay.
We're gonna have some giveaways, and the best tweet is Linda Liukas learned to code thanks to Al Gore. For Tuuti Piippo, the inspiration was Hanson, and for me, a pet rat. Johanna Lampinen is. Where's Johanna? There's you.
Awesome!
There's a book for you, and now, who had the best question?
Thanks. What was it?
It's difficult, always a difficult one.
They were all really good, so it is difficult.
So how many books do you
Yeah, I like the crazy one. Yeah.
Let's give it to the crazy one, yeah.
Yeah. Here you go. Welcome. Thank you.
Thank you. And yeah, one kind of thing I kind of would leave all of us with is kind of what could be the best way to use my talent for something meaningful. I'm gonna own that. Thank you.
Thank you.
And yeah, give a big hand to Tuuti.